So money is very personal. It's like an underwear. What would work for you might not work for another person. So on your money journey, I want you to focus on you. Start writing down the things that actually matter to you. What does your goal look like? How can you get there? And be intentional about achieving it.
You're watching the Career Series powered by MTN. I'm your host, Talula Doherty Aditono, and our guest today is Tosin Olaseinde. She's the CEO of MoneyAfrica, a financial literacy platform, and also a Ladder, a savings and investment platform. Tosin, so nice to have you on our show today.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you because you are literally the money expert. And I know that we're gonna, glow up our finances just by talking to you and having this conversation today.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So I want to start talking about financial freedom first of all. I know that many of us, in terms of individuals and startup companies, are on that journey towards financial freedom, whether it's by saving, budgeting, or investing. So as the expert, I want to ask you, what can we all do in order to reach, financial freedom?
Fantastic. So I'm going to start with the definition, right? So what is financial freedom? Financial freedom basically is when you do not have to work again and your expenses can last you for the next 25 years. Let's use an example. So let's say, for instance, my aspiring expenses per month is, let's say, 500,000 naira. Take that number, multiply it by 12, and then multiply it by 25 years. So that when I hit that goal, then I don't have to work. Now, it differs from people to people. Now, how can people hit it? We did a research once, Talula, and we're just asking people, how did they spend their first salary? A lot of people were in our comment section and were saying, Tosin, no, hey, I did not pay myself salary. I don't earn salary. I said, madam, how are you getting money if you don't earn salary? Mm-hmm. Guess what? They were business owners. They were dipping into their company's pot to cover their expenses. Mm-hmm. So because they never said salary and they moved it, they were just going directly. They had
whenever they needed something,
sure, they're just going to the pot, right? They were not able to distinguish that. Mm-hmm. So if you want to hit financial independence, you need to be able to separate yourself from that business. If not, before you know what happens, you're just walking around in circles.
Yes.
In circles, and that's pretty much it. So you need to be able to separate it. What's the business making? What's Oluwatosin making? Am I able to pay Oluwatosin a salary? Can she make a salary elsewhere if the business cannot make her? Cannot give her that salary? Mm-hmm. So that is a very, very key one step. And then once you get that step, then you're now planning. What does financial independence look like to me? What is that figure? For some people, they just want to move out of town. Their children go to good schools and they're okay. They have a little farm. Another person, they want to start a loft at Ikoyi. You travel like every 2 months and live it up. So find that number and design what your own financial independence, and then you can start working to it.
Fantastic. Tosin, so there is this sort of idea that the fastest way to financial freedom is by owning your own company, starting a business, being an entrepreneur, and oftentimes people who are working a 9-to-5 may feel left out, like maybe they're not on the best path to financial freedom. So what's true and what is false? Is it entrepreneurship that's going to make us rich, or is it working, a 9-to-5?
I'm really happy that you're asking this question, because how people have sort of sold entrepreneurship, I think there's a lot of lies there, right? And we have to be balanced. Now, CNBC did this research, right? I do not own the propriety to this research. They did the research, and we're looking at the 4 ways or the 4 paths towards becoming a millionaire. I'm talking about in US dollars. Let's look at them. Number 1, we have the savers investors. Now, according to the research, this is the most guaranteed method. These are people that actually have regular jobs. Now, they have a 9-to-5, they are frugal, they're investing, they started early, and they're playing a long-term game. So look at that person, got a good job. Every month, they're putting something aside. They're living within their means. They're not doing anything over the top. That's one of the routes. Number 2, we have this one called the dreamers. These dreamers are the entrepreneurs. Guess what? The dreamers is the second hardest category for people that actually become an entrepreneur, because people keep celebrating the success. They're not talking about all the people that have started a business and failed and all of that. So dreamers are things like artists, singers, entrepreneurs, amongst others. They have a dream and they're bringing that dream to life. Quite hard, but it's also very possible. And they usually get there in a shorter period of time compared to those that are the savers investors. Number 3, we have the company climbers. Company climbers are not just getting a job because, I want to save and invest. They want to sit on the management. They are eyeing that board director. They are eyeing they want to be the next person after the CEO. They want to sit on the management table. That's the category. So these people usually work crazy hours. They are putting extra effort than the regular person because they are eyeing that top seat. Now, they also get there after a period of time, right? The last one are those that they call the virtuosos, right? I hope I pronounced it correctly. So these people are exceptional. They are phenomenal. They are outliers. So for instance, we see Beyonce now, she's doing her tour.
Yes.
And you'll see the price of those tickets is crazy.
And the waiting list for the tickets.
It's crazy.
I saw somebody was like 9,000th in line.
Beyonce is one of those examples. If
Yes.
you even look at locally in the markets, look at the artists. There are certain artists, when they call their price, people will cough out that money. They will
Yes.
not question it.
Yes.
Other people, they'll be struggling to fill up a hall. So virtuosos are outliers. They are exceptional. They've crafted that art that people are ready to pay for it. So these are the 4 different ways. In summary, there is no one way. And even based on the research, guess the one that is more guaranteed?
Which one?
Savers, investors.
Really?
Those that have 9 to 5 job. It's like, you know, a path. I'm earning 200K. I'm going to take out 50K every month. I'll change it to dollars. I'll do this and I'll save it. I'll invest it on a monthly basis. Next 25 years, this is my route towards financial independence. It's clear. The chart is there, right? So it's one of the contrary to what a lot of people say.
Wow, that is very contrarian. And I think it's interesting because obviously with a 9 to 5, like you said, there's a regular guaranteed income. Whereas in the creative industries and sometimes with entrepreneurship, there can be a lot of fluctuations in there. But as you said, there is no one way. There's no one way.
Yeah.
So Money Africa has a community of over 300,000 members. That's really, really amazing. And I know you have different platforms through which you reach your members, from groups to email newsletters and all of that. How do you help your members structure their finances so they can reach their financial goals and also their commitments?
Fantastic. Where we start from is from the mindset. Now, the mindset is this. We can tell them, oh, do this or do that. At the end of the day, it's like you're going to the doctor and they give you medication. Some people will flush it. Yeah, go search for that. Sometimes if you're admitted at a hospital, whenever the nurse gives you medication, they don't step out, because despite the fact that they're on the bed, they are sick, sometimes they throw it underneath their bed. They don't take it, right? And that's why the nurses have to stay there. So what we do is we want to work with a mindset, because we can't be there every time. Like the nurses will be there when you're under admission. So we want to be able to ensure that you can see what the goal looks like. You can see the picture, so that when we give the recommendations, people actually stick to it.
Yeah.
So we start with the mind. Well, educating, we're telling them why, we're showing them the picture. Once people can paint that picture, it's easier for them to get there. So number one, we're very heavy on mindset. We're educating. We want to unlearn a lot of things. So by the age of 7, many people have sort of formed their mind about money, right? So we want to change that money, get it right. That's number 1, is mindset. Number 2, we now start giving scenarios. The way a 20-year-old will invest is different from the way a 50-year-old with children and is 10 years away from retirement is going to invest. So we are giving scenarios. I am 25-year-old, I am in my mid-30s, I have children, I am close to retirement, So we're sort of creating a kind of process that is relatable, they can connect. Now, with the way we're seeing a lot of Nigerians or even Africans moving to the diaspora,
Yes.
we're also creating plans for that, because the market is there, right? Based on the stats, about 72,000 that was last year, they were able to see that move. When they get there and they start getting jobs, they want to start thinking about investing. So we're able to then start asking, what is your situation? What is your circumstances? And then we can start giving options for that.
Fantastic. So interesting. And I want to just segue over to Ladder now, which is the savings and investment platform. And I know there's so many misconceptions about savings and especially investing. People think you have to have a whole lot of money in order to start and all of that. So how has Ladder been able to help young people, millennials, Gen Z even as well, save and invest in a way that is sustainable for them, their lifestyle, and also their income?
That's very, very true. So with the app, we're able to, number 1, show you that you have many options. There's the kind of emergency fund that we always preach about, that emergency funds is very key. It's not money you put locked up somewhere. It's not money you put in real estate. It's not money you put in stocks. Like, if you have an emergency, you can quickly go to. So with that app, we can show you that, try and invest in emergency funds. We have another one that is an automated savings. So I earn a certain amount every month. We can instruct the app that take out this amount on a monthly basis, and it's going to do that, so that before your own urge or you feeling like, I want to go and buy this, or I want to do that, or we already grabbed the money from you and just sort of help you put it out. Now, another part of the investment that we're launching is the other one called a robo advisory, where we're able to take all your unique circumstances and then create a path for you in order for you to follow. So these are the ways that Ladder actually help people to save and invest.
Fantastic. I love the thought of that part of it is locked up, so you cannot access it, because there's always that temptation, isn't there?
Yes,
you think, there's money somewhere, I want to buy this thing that I saw online, let me go there and withdraw. So
yes.
I like that. You're shielding us against,
Absolutely.
from ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, Tosin, what are some beliefs that you've noticed that us Nigerians and Africans in general have about financial literacy that are false or that are not helping us to progress in our financial goals?
Okay, so we are naturally an optimistic country, right? And I'm hoping that this also, happens in the rest of Africa. Like there's that optimism that it's going to get better. So people always think that I'm going to wait because there's a better tomorrow. So they miss out on that 10 years, on that 20 years, because they're waiting for them to become a manager, waiting for them to own 3 stores in Alaba, or they're waiting for that goal and they delay it. So it's one of the misconceptions. You don't have to wait for that long. Time is a critical essence. I love to use this example. Let's say you finished NYSC in your 20s, mid-20s, started investing 20,000 naira every month, earning 10% per annum. By the time you hit retirement, that's 211 million. But yes, because they see the amount is so small, they don't see like, I have to start now. If that same person started 10 years later, that person would have just 76 million. They would have lost 135 million because they started 10 years later. So time is a critical essence. Number 2, people sometimes really think that you can't, those small money does not count. But if you ask them, look at their neighborhood. There's one woman that was selling rice. She just used to use one small table. Before you know what happened, her table became bigger. Before you know what happened, she started one small, started putting blocks together, started building something small. You know there is that person, there's somebody in your family that you saw that uncle used to struggle when you guys were younger. And before you knew what happened, they grew skills, they started getting better. So people still think that this little money does not count. But if they were to look around them, that woman selling rice, that uncle in that family that was struggling, they see the growth. So if you can say that, why are you turning a blind eye? They're not outliers. It's really true. It happens, right? So just don't despise that little amount. Right? So those beliefs that, the weight on me is a lot, it will be harder for me to get there. And I'm not despising it, which is actually very true. I'm not dismissive of it. However, what can I do? I always say to people, the things that are not within your control, take it out. I can't control inflation. I can't control CBN. I can't control the exchange rate. What can I control? My skills. Stacking it together. Looking for people that were in my own shoes that got to the top, and I'm keeping my eye on those goals. So those are some of the things, the misconception, the weight is a lot. I don't come from a wealthy family. It's not going to be possible. It is possible. There are people that have done it, and so can you.
That's so inspiring, Tosin. Literally mind blown.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we just look forward to continue learning with Money Africa and also continue investing, growing our money towards millionaire status with Ladder as
Please,
well.
guys, download Ladder app on iOS, on Android. Start saving, start investing. Let's go to the top together. Thank you.
Thank you.